Happy Monday and good morning, refined investors. Hope you had a great weekend. Let's talk about the next 2 to 3 to 6 months for crypto. I don't think I'm hearing a lot of videos about 4-year cycles, extended super cycles, and others that are saying no, neither of those two are true, etc. And I think there's a mixture of all that. I do think there are going to be cycles because life is all about ups and downs and cycles. I don't think that goes away, just intrinsically sort of the nature of life. But what I do think does change specifically for crypto is you've got two buckets. You've got sort of your bucket of these are going to do well as digital gold, which I think Bitcoin stands alone. And then I do think we're going to be going through a utility phase where things like XRP and Chainlink and Ethereum specifically, those three, let's say as an example, we'll start pulling in and taking some market share away from all of the other cryptos that are sort of in the bottom of that list, right? There are others that'll do well. Of course, you've got Solana, HBAR, et cetera. They all will have a bit of market share and they'll do well to some extent. But you've got to think of utility, real world assets, creating stable coins, creating where developers are going to be putting their efforts, et cetera. And I think we're in that phase now. We're starting to see true utility finally taking shape. And this is going to happen over the course of the next 5, 10, and 20 years. It's not going to be overnight. But I do think it's going to start, the implementation process has started. And just looking at XRP, for example, look at all these really critical acquisitions and what that means as they position themselves for utility, real world utility. Partnerships with these banks. When are they going to start rolling it out? When is this going to become sort of, hey, we're officially live, right? Where you hear bank after bank after bank all of a sudden starting to settle on XRP, on the XRP ledger, and so on and so forth. So, and the same for Ethereum, right? Stablecoin. We already know it's been happening. Now the question is, what is Wall Street and the rest of sort of the financial world going to do with Ethereum? And it seems like it's going to be a big deal. And of course, you've got Bitcoin, where it's still, like I said, sitting in its own bucket. It'll do well. All of them will always have that volatility, like everything else, like Amazon, like Google. There's always been volatility where there's buying opportunities, but the reality is it's going to be somewhat, and I've said this before, very perpetual in nature, in that we're going to see that sort of grind into the future because it's here. So position yourselves, pay close attention, learn which ones are going to really be the big players, if you will, and enjoy the ride. Have a great week.